Happening today, Rochester School Board member Beatrice LeBron is scheduled to appear in court.
LeBron is the vice president of the city's Board of Education. She previously pleaded not guilty to a second-degree charge for harassment, all stemming from this verbal confrontation with Monroe County Legislature Vice President Mercedes Vasquez-Simmons in April. LeBron at the time was talking to the ledge in her role not from RCSD, but as the executive director of the Father Tracy Advocacy Center when Vasquez-Simmons claims LeBron pointed at her and made threats. LeBron has denied all the allegations.
Well, continuing coverage on a rather dramatic story. A teen hit by lightning and a couple in Webster leapt into action. They share with News 8 their knowledge of CPR may have prevented a major tragedy on the pier over the weekend. Tammy White and her boyfriend were at the pier Saturday night trying to take a selfie in front of the sunset. That's when they saw two girls moving onto a bridge near the creek. They heard a loud boom, the lightning strike that came along with it, and then 2 seconds later, one of the girls started screaming. Her friend had just been hit. That is when Tammy's boyfriend ran to the girl, one of the first to get over to her, and started performing CPR.
It was intense. She's only 15. Her shorts were shredded off of her from the lightning strike. So someone came up and brought a blanket to cover her because her shorts were shredded off. And she had blood coming down her chin, and then he noticed when he was giving her CPR, she had a black, ash mark on her chest.
Another woman also trained in CPR came and took over, and they were able to revive that young girl. We'll be checking in on how she's doing.
The paramedics did arrive on scene within 5 minutes, and Tammy shares this story in hopes that everyone will take the time to get CPR certified. We have reached out to police in the town to get an update on the health of the teen. We will share that with you as soon as we have it. A case we're following in Rochester. A man from the city has died after he was hit by a car Friday night. 36-year-old Lafayama Chapman passed away the following morning at the hospital. Police arrested a 29-year-old woman for DWI after the Kia she was driving hit the victim and a building. But RPD notes it was a white Honda that actually caused a chain reaction. A third car when the driver in that hit the Kia. The driver in the Kia stayed on scene. The other person in the Honda took off. Throughout the weekend, police followed up on multiple leads and did eventually find that Honda. The investigation remains ongoing, but they have yet to say anything about this other driver involved. Sunrise traffic, your current conditions. We are still keeping an eye on an issue reported on the east side, a car that hit a deer. That's what's being reported. Harris Road and Atlantic Avenue in the Penfield Walworth area. Closer to us, the west side 490, no issues there as traffic's moving along. We'll check that again coming up at 7:25.
Your local election headquarters and day one of the Democratic National Convention officially in the books. Democrats are looking to start off strong, and they certainly tried to with their message sent to Americans.
Yeah, seeing more of a unified Democratic Party today compared to about a month ago when the president dropped out of the race, but that has not stopped Democrats from singing his praises as they transition all their support to Kamala Harris. As Mr. Biden passed the symbolic torch last night with his speech, the Dems started Monday at the convention in Chicago telling Americans they are the party for the people. Harris did make a surprise appearance on stage, giving her thanks to the president. Meantime, speakers highlighted what he's done for the country.
Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have been busy expanding access to the internet.
The number of uninsured Americans hit an all-time low.
They also took a jab at the former President Donald Trump and the damage he could do, they say, if he returns to the White House.
Well, he wants a chance to make America unemployed again.
Secretary of State Hillary Clinton also among the speakers rallying support for Harris. Today's theme is Bold Vision for America, and tonight the Obamas are taking the stage. Some new details we're learning on a group of large local charities sounding the alarm together over United Way's decision to significantly cut their funding support. The Salvation Army, one of 16 groups signing on to this letter detailing the scale of the loss, and it's massive. Members say their service is providing basics to people, talking diapers, toiletries, and more. That's losing $500,000, only getting $85 grand for the same thing next year. The United Way earlier this month had a press conference saying the funding reduction is linked to a drop in overall donations and a shift away from big multi-year grants. It's also providing some money now to help with this difficult transition, and these other groups say they do appreciate it.
But the reality is, as you just stated, when you lose 85% of your funding for a program, you have to figure something out. We haven't even been able to go down those roads yet, but obviously we have to do something.
The Salvation Army and these other groups, such as the Main Street Settlement, Food Link, they plan to meet with leadership at the United Way soon to talk about their difficult road ahead. Neighbors in Ontario County are pretty worried after getting word of a spill at a gas station in Clifton Springs on Kendall Street. This began last week on Thursday. The DEC sent teams there responding to a big smell of gas in the area in the businesses next to the station. The investigation at first determined an unknown amount of fuel had affected the sanitary sewer as well as a storm drain and nearby Sulphur Creek. And a business owner there says he's worried about being at that location.
We went outside, they started pulling the manhole covers, and you couldn't even stand next to them, the fumes that came out. I mean, it was straight gasoline, just like you were pouring it right out.
Crews have been there for days on site testing and removing the affected groundwater. The mayor says more information and resources will be coming out in the next few days.
The city's Summer of Opportunity program, also known as SOUP for short, it's almost over for the year, providing work opportunities to our local youth. Ron Spitzer speaking with leaders for the services here in Rochester, checking in on what the initiative has done for our local students. Ron.
Yeah, so some form of SOUP has existed in one form or another for years. In fact, those youth services leaders I spoke with participated in these programs when they were kids. SOUP falls under Rochester's Youth Services Bureau. The program gives kids the chance to work with participating businesses during the summer and allows them to earn money and become more financially literate while learning and developing. The program has been steadily growing over the years. Last year there were 247 participants, and this year there are 285. Kids have different choices within the city, like working with RPD or the traffic department, but there are other choices as well with one of these 71 participating organizations, and they're always looking to expand where there's interest. Right now that's in fields like law and cosmetology. Youth Services Manager Isaac Bliss says a busy kid is a safe kid.
If you are engaged in something that's going to be productive and you're finding ways to make money, a lot of times that young people might find themselves in trouble is because they're looking for ways to stay engaged and stay active and earn some funds. So we wanted to make sure that we're giving them a safe and productive way to do that.
Bliss tells me they hope to expand this opportunity to the school year so students would be able to work up to 10 hours per week. The application for next year opens on February 1st. Guys, back to you.
Ron, thanks. Speaking of the school year, if we had a bus stop forecast this morning for
yeah, we'd be telling them to get those jackets on, a hat even.
It does feel like it. You're starting to see some more buses out there getting those routes ready to go for the school year. A sign of what is to come. I'm excited to dust that graphic off. Honey Falls 52. Penn you're at 54 this morning. South Bristol 51 degrees. How about that?
Wow.
A few degrees off from 40s.
51?
Yeah, that's chilly. Mid 60s for you this afternoon. Best chance for rain does come in that afternoon time frame, but otherwise tomorrow more the same. Still in the 60s. Thursday, that's when we start to see things break.
It's cool. We'll just run it back here tomorrow morning when we see our next update in 30 minutes.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning, everyone. CBS Morning's up next. Have a great day.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, X, and on our app for news and weather.